Hello everyone, welcome to Peach on Earth Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for Aquarius. You can have Aquarius anywhere in your chart. You can be a cross watcher. All that I ask is that if you're here watching this reading that you come with good intentions for yourself and for others. Technically this reading is for February, but you do not have to watch it in February. You can watch it whenever you're called to watch it. So this month I was being called to get your messages through music, and so the song I was getting for you, Aquarius, is Terra Nova by James Taylor. Now the literal translation of Terra Nova means new land. So I'm getting like there's some kind of like change that you're either being called to or that's going to be taking place. And then in the song, hang on, let me see my notes here. Oh, it's also a ship, I guess, that was used in World War II. And so I'm getting like maybe some travel over water because it's like you're going to new land over water with that ship metaphor. And he even talks about sailing in the song. So it doesn't have to be like an ocean. It could be a smaller body of water, but you could be needing to cross some kind of body of water. Now, I'm even hearing that could be like emotional as well. Like you're needing to do some kind of like excursion emotionally because water represents our emotions. Now, let's see. Some of the lyrics that were standing out to me says, I ought to be on my way. So he's talking about like he's needing to go, but by he, I'm just talking about James Taylor because he's singing the song. He's talking about needing to go, but there's like nerves there where he's feeling kind of stuck and complacent and not necessarily moving forward, even though he should be, and he knows he needs to, but he's a little bit scared. But then by the end, I think he does talk about like setting into motion. So let's see here, what else? Now, I did find it interesting because in the song, he's talking about there's someone that wrote him that's causing him to need to travel like this, where they've gone through a spiritual awakening. So you could be being called into a spiritual awakening. Now, of course, it could be another person that they've gone through a spiritual awakening and they're calling to you, and it makes you want to also go through this. Not necessarily. I'm not really getting like another person necessarily. There's just something that you're needing to do for yourself to make you feel more whole. I don't know if that's really even necessarily the right way to say it. And then towards the end of the song it says, "In this day, set me in motion." So you're ready to leave, like it's like a line in the sand. You're ready to set that in, or that day in the past where you were stuck and not moving forward, and set into motion. Okay. Now, I stopped shuffling, and it's interesting because air element's on the bottom and it says communicating, and Aquarius is an air element. We're going into Aquarius season. Well, we're already in Aquarius season right now at the time I'm filming this. So there is something that you're maybe needing to communicate. Okay, so we got 5th house, creativity. Now, maybe you need to go look at where your 5th house is in your chart. Our rising sign starts our houses, and then it kind of like goes. So wherever your rising sign is, it's like 5 houses from there, And what's interesting is South Node is on the bottom. Life's debts. So I feel like it has something to do with your creativity. Like you might be feeling stuck in your creativity because South Node is about like what it represents is, so you might want to go look at what your South and North nodes are because they're opposites. Like wherever your South node is, your North node will be directly opposite in the chart, in your zodiac chart. But there could be something to do with your creativity that you're needing to overcome. Like you might be feeling stuck in some way. So right now you're kind of like in the South Node energy with your creativity, where it's like you've been. So what our South Node represents is, how do I want to word this? It's like almost like karma, I guess, is the best way to put it, where it's the things that you've had to kind of learn. If you believe in like past lives and stuff, it's like the lessons you've had to carry over from your past lives, or even like ancestral wounding and stuff like that. It's what you've needed to learn in order to move towards your North Node, and it kind of like pushes you, right? Where it's like that line in the sand is what I'm hearing, is like it's pushing you towards that day that you actually set sail and leave the South Node behind and move towards your North Node. So maybe you could have your North Node in Aquarius, which is about kind of creativity to me. It represents that. Is this going to stay in there? It might be too shallow. Oh well. And your North or South Node might be even in your 5th house. If it is, it's kind of like that's just confirmation. But I feel like you're going from your South Node to your North Node. That's the Terra Nova. That's the new land. You're no longer needing to be in your South Node. You're being given permission by the universe, God, whatever it is you believe in, to move into what's truly yours, what you are being called to move into, right? So let's see here. Okay, I'm going to use the tea leaf cards. I want 2 cards for Aquarius, please, regarding this reading. Can I have 2 tea leaf cards, please, for Aquarius? Well, that's interesting. Okay. So you got vase, vase, however you want to pronounce it, and it's secret admirer. Well, that's interesting. Are these okay? They're gonna stand up. So it could be that, like how it's like someone has gone through too many a spiritual awakening, I'm hearing. So it could be someone just like a spiritual guide, like an earth guide. It doesn't necessarily even have to be a person. It can be spirits or angels or whatever it is that you believe in. But it's someone on your side because they're an admirer, okay? Like, it's almost like they're calling out to you for you to cross over into your North Node. Okay. And work, achievement, success. Yeah. It's like, it's so interesting. So you could be a creative person, okay? And, oh, look at this on the bottom. Hard work ahead, for sure. Now, none of this comes easily, right? Spiritual awakenings, moving into our North Node. Because our North Node, it doesn't feel natural to us at first. It takes a long time for us to get into that energy. It takes us a long time to understand that we are deserving of that energy. Like, for example, my North Node is Taurus. And so Taurus is kind of like about being settled and feeling comfortable and stuff like that. And I have never ever in my life felt, I guess, at home somewhere. So it's like that's my North Node. What I'm should be needing or wanting to achieve is like finding that desire to know how to feel settled within myself. So what I'm seeing here with this vase and ant is like you could be a creative person, and whatever it is you do creatively, you might not feel successful or even feel deserving of success, when it comes to whatever you do creatively. Um, but I'm hearing that you need to understand that what you do, what you create, what you spend your time on is worthy of whatever it is, like, is worthy of a good life, is worthy of crossing from the south node to the north node. Um, it's like a healing when it comes to whatever you do for creativity. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna use the. I'm gonna use these. Hang on. Okay. We're gonna use. Yeah. We're gonna use the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. Okay, let's get a reading for Aquarius regarding these cards so far. What is the message for Aquarius, please, for February? Message for Aquarius, please. Message for Aquarius. What's the message for Aquarius, please? Message for Aquarius, please. Message for Aquarius. Okay, that's a lot of cards, but it's not that many, so I guess we're going to take it. Now, okay, so we have the Five of Cups. And she's submerged in water, and we're talking about water here. Oh, I'm so sorry. We were talking about water, about, crossing the sea, crossing some form of water, and it could be emotional, especially with the Five of Cups showing up, because the Five of Cups does talk about our emotions. And look, there's another 5 there. So you could be going through some change that it's uncomfortable, because 5 represents change that comes out of discomfort. It's like the tower moments where it's like you're blasted out of your comfort zone by the universe or God or whatever it is you want to call it, maybe even yourself or someone around you. Like it could be like a person, right? Or just something that triggers you. Okay, and so it's like you're blasted out of your tower into change. You have to change something, and it's not always comfortable. Okay, with the 5, it's not comfortable, but it's necessary, and it's always for our highest good. So with the 5 of Cups on the bottom, that's what I'm kind of getting, because 5 of Cups represents, it's like crying over spilled milk, right? We see these opportunities here. We see these opportunities here that have spilled, but there's 2 opportunities still behind her. Now she's not seeing it herself, but she has all these other eyes around her that can see. Now they can't really talk, they don't have mouths, but they can like hint at. There's still 2 here, and she's even submerged in water. She's submerged in the healing. Okay, so this is a lot of cards, but that's all right. I'm gonna go for it. The King of Swords. Now I'm getting definite Aquarian energy there with that. It's that communication is coming back again. Oh, with the air element, yeah. Something's needing to be communicated. The 7 of Discs, which is about, to me, it's like a reassessment. Now this person is pregnant, which is interesting. She's pregnant and she's raking this debris off. But why? And it's so interesting because it's like desert and then grass. There's 2 different, it's like crossing that threshold, right? With that Terra Nova song, it's like, in this day, set me in motion. So like, whatever she's going to be birthing is going to set her in motion over here, because the sun also looks like an egg to me, like the egg yolk, and that is like a baby chick, right? The yolk represents that fertility, and that's it doesn't have to be like a literal baby. It can mean like your creative aspects, whatever it is you're birthing into the world or needing to birth into the world. Now, and she's been pregnant for a while. She looks very pregnant, okay? The Magician. Okay. I'm getting with these planets here that it's that crossing into new land. That Terra Nova, it translates to new land. The Two of Wands. Now, the Magician and the Two of Wands to me are both very much about manifestation. And it's interesting because, so here's the Earth in this card, and here's the Earth in this card. And to me, I always see these two wands as kind of like Xing it out, okay? And I was seeing how there's all these other planets here. So it's like new land. It's like you're crossing this one off. This is no longer where you need to be. You need to be. Now, obviously, you're not going to be changing planets unless you believe in that after death you are not necessarily like always reincarnated in on the earth. It can be other planets as well, or other realms, okay? So I'm getting that it's like you are crossing some kind of threshold, but I do feel like it's metaphorical, right? Like this is no longer working. Wherever you are right now is no longer working. You're needing to go. And even this kind of looks like an egg, right? But it's like the opposite of an egg, where it's like white in the middle and then orange, more orange as you go towards the outside. Okay. The Princess of Cups. That's a new emotional journey. So something's going to be communicated to you, whether it's from a person with that 5 energy that I was getting. There's something that's going to be triggering you. Now, it could be that spiritual awakening, like someone is talking about a spiritual awakening, whether they've been through one or they're calling you towards one. And now it doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It could be just like something that triggers you. It triggers you into needing to awaken, okay? And that's this King of Swords. Now, it could definitely be during Aquarius season, I'm hearing, because this is definitely speaking of Aquarian energy to me. So there's something that's happening, right? That's going to make you see, like, where you are right now is kind of desolate, but if you turn around, same with this 5 of Cups, okay? If you turn around, you see this lush land behind you, okay? Now, that's more of a place to birth the child, right? Whether that's a literal or metaphorical child, than in this desolate land, okay? So you're seeing, and with the 7 of Discs too being about reassessment, it's like you're kind of like looking at everything. That's the Magician. The Magician can see all. They can see everything. And they know that this is no longer right for them, that they need to change something about their environment. Something about environment is changing, and it's an emotional journey. So here's another body of water, okay? So it's like you are going to feel like the princess is like the page, where it's the very, very beginning of the stage of the emotional journey. So you're going to feel very out of your element. You're going to feel, just out of your element, not comfortable. But you're being called to do it, and you're going to go and you're doing it, okay? Oh, yay, I love this. So we're ending on the 9 of Discs, which the 9 of Discs is, it's like independence, it's success. With this creativity and like going from your South Node to your North Node, I'm hearing it's like, whatever this transformation is, that you're going to stop doubting yourself. Whatever it is that you want to do with your life is what you're supposed to be doing with your life. And it's going to bring, like, it's going to feel foreign to you at first, but then look at this transformation. Because this woman even like looks kind of similar to me, where it's like she starts here, she's a little weary, but she's still willing. And like, it looks like she's walking, okay? And she's holding her glass out and like cheersing, right? Like, cheers, let's do this. And it's like a forward motion, okay? And then it comes to this. This is like the lush land behind, right? It's like as soon as she crosses over, this is what is birthed out. It's like all these flowers in abundance. It's like you have to set something on fire in order for it to be born anew, right? Like, because here she's like getting nowhere. She's getting nowhere by raking these leaves off of these sculptures and statues. I really, really encouraging you to go look at your north and south nodes, okay? Because I feel like that's going to tell you something about like how you've been living your life and how you need to start living your life, and that end this day, set me in motion. Like end the south node and set you in motion towards your north node, okay? And I do feel like it has something to do with creativity. Oh, okay. Okay, hang on. Let me find that card. I don't know where it went. Hang on. You guys will never believe this. 2121, by the way, when I saw this card. So I was getting a card from the Goddess Guidance Oracle for you for advice. And look at what card came out. The arts. Express yourself through creative activities. So you are definitely being called to your creative abilities here, like to change your outlook on it. It might be like you think that it's almost like I'm hearing that you don't think that you can be successful, or you don't deserve to be successful in the creative arts. But with the work achievement success of this ant, right? It's like you have the ability, especially with the secret admirer. It's like once you put yourself out there, you will find people who admire your work. Sarasvati. Yeah. Look, more water. And like I said, it's like crossing some form of emotional like capacity. And now this isn't a wide jump. Like, she could swim across there. She could whatever, it's like it's not that far of a journey is what I'm hearing. It's like like I said in the beginning, you don't have to cross an ocean to get where you want to go. It could just be like a river or a lake, something very achievable is what I'm hearing, okay? So I think your advice is to just focus on your arts. Look into your north node and your south node and start seeing if you don't feel worthy of that north node energy. Ask yourself why, or if it doesn't resonate with you, why doesn't it resonate with you, okay? So Aquarius, this has been your reading. I hope it was helpful. If it was, you can like, comment, share, subscribe. And I thank any of you for being present today, any of your guides that were present, any of my guides that were present from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.